And finally, from Russia, where authorities are going to bizarre lengths to boost the country's birth rate. The Kremlin is now considering a ministry of sex to tackle the nation's population crisis due to the war in Ukraine. Some of the initiatives include cutting off the internet and electricity at night to encourage intimacy. Once set up, the Russian ministry would fund dates, pay for weddings, and give hefty cash payments to first-time mothers. Our final report brings you more on the strategy being deployed as the Kremlin fights a demographic decline.
In a move straight out of a dystopian satire, Russia is mulling a ministry of sex. The proposed ministry could become the latest attempt to reverse the country's alarming population decline. Nina Ostanina, a staunch Putin ally and chair of the Russian parliament's Family Protection Committee, is reviewing the proposal. And the timing isn't accidental because Russia's birth rate is in free fall, worsened by a war that's claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. So, what does this ministry of sex mean? Some bizarre plans have already emerged. One idea is to plunge the country into nightly darkness. From 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., the internet and lights would be switched off. The goal? Encourage couples to get intimate. The state could also start funding the first dates, up to 5,000 rubles, or over $50 for the first romantic night out. And, if a date leads to marriage, the state might just cover the wedding night. Public funds could pay for hotel rooms for newlyweds up to $266. Russia is also considering paying stay-at-home mothers for doing housework. Apparently, scrubbing floors will now count toward pensions, and regions are rolling out their own incentives. In Khabarovsk, female students are paid over $1,152 for having a child. Meanwhile, Chelyabinsk is far more generous, offering over $10,000 for a firstborn. However, this is not the first time. A Russian official has declared to go further. Regional Health Minister Yevgeny Shestopolov earlier proposed a sex at work initiative. He suggested Russians make babies on coffee breaks, as life flies by too quickly. With the population in crisis, Russian authorities are not leaving any stone unturned to dive deep into personal lives. Female public sector workers are being ordered to fill out highly personal questionnaires about their sexual health. The forms ask about sexual history, birth control use, and even intimate questions about intercourse. And if they refuse to answer, Putin's government could punish them to see a state doctor for an in-person interview. Reports from women in state-run cultural institutions reveal their frustration. Many submitted blank forms, hoping to avoid scrutiny. But the HR departments demanded names, and soon after, women were called to medical interviews to answer the same invasive questions. The Ministry of Sex proposal may seem outlandish, but it does highlight the lengths Russia is willing to go to encourage more babies. It seems no plan is too strange, no proposal too bizarre, in the Kremlin's push to boost birth rates. Whether the public buys in, that's another story.